The challenge with communication in network marketing or in just in Legal Shield in general is this. We've always had a challenge with reaching people. We've always had a challenge with sending out a message. Let's say that you had something happen to your venue. You're hosting an event in your local market, and you go up the day of your venue at 10 o'clock in the morning. You find out that your venue is having problems, that you do not have it reserved, that they forgot to put it down. And you need to let everybody in the market know, hey, that we're going to change locations. How do you send that urgent message to everybody in your market? Well, typically before here, you would have maybe a text messaging group that you had to text message and send out a message to everybody out there. Now, everybody may not get that need that group, that need that message, may not get it. You may have some folks that are not in your text messaging group that will that need to be at that venue. Maybe there's a major announcement that's being made with the company. It's a time-sensitive announcement, and you really want to get it out to your team. How do you get that announcement out to your team that everybody gets on? Everybody understands and everybody gets on. How do you get that announcement out to your team? That's a challenge for a lot of people, because if you don't have a system in place that you can get that announcement out to people, and I'm hoping that everyone sees this. I think we're broadcasting now because I finally see that. Hold on, let me check something. Let me make sure that we're broadcasting. Yeah, we're broadcasting now. So I wanted to make sure that we're broadcasting. I finally see that now everything's on now. So the challenge with building large organizations, because we're going to talk about not only how to use LSEngage, but we're also going to talk about, why to use LSEngage. If I wanted to get something out to my entire team, or if I wanted to get something out to specific people in my team, maybe my leadership, maybe my directors, maybe a promotion, then in the past, I've used things like Facebook, so I have a Facebook group. I have a Facebook group that people are a part of, and I want to send an urgent message out. The problem is that everybody's not on Facebook. So I have a GroupMe group that we have a text messaging group. The problem is that everybody's not on GroupMe. I have a text messaging system that I send out to everybody. The problem is that everybody's not subscribed to it. The thing about LSEngage that you need to know up front that really, really puts you at an advantage with your business is that LSEngage, by default, everybody is a part of it. That means every new associate in your organization automatically has an LSEngage account. And you log into your LSEngage account using the same credentials that you log into your back office with. So when you bring a new associate on, in the past, this is what I had to do. In the past, I would turn around and I would have to say, okay, join our text messaging blast, join our Facebook group. If they're in leadership position, join our GroupMe team leadership. So there's all these different places that I would have to send out these messages to if I wanted to communicate with my organization. And so when I formulated a message, it would take me literally 10 to 15 minutes to send out something to 6 or 7 different places, and everybody still didn't get it. So what we really want to do is we want to leverage LSEngage, and we want from day one to share with our new associates and everybody they bring on that, hey, this is our primary communication tool. So if anything is important, you don't have to worry about them missing it on the Legal Shield Associate Success page, because I guarantee you, when they put out important things on the Legal Shield Associate Success page, everybody doesn't get it because everybody's not on Facebook all day long. And then things tend to move around on Facebook. So you really want to make sure that all of your team is connected with LSEngage so you can send them out that message. So that's one of the key things with LSEngage up front is your communication. So what I'm going to do real brief is I'm going to bring you through the parts of the app first. Like I mentioned before, we're going to go over the web platform also. So the first part of this presentation is going to be dealing with the app. The second part is going to be dealing with the web platform. And you really want to be around for the web platform, because even if I was in your market and went over this part with you, this is going to be a refresher for some of you. But I didn't go over the web platform, and the web platform is powerful. There are some features in there that we're going to talk about that will really blow your mind. Some things that you can do that you're like, wow, I did not know that. And for those of you that are just joining us again, I'm going to have two different views. I'm going to have a view that is logged into my account to show you some things. But anytime we're dealing with associates information, I'm going to switch over to another account that's blank. That's not going to show anything. So, you know, if there is some streaming issues, keep in mind it's YouTube, it's not me. So if you get some buffering issues, just kind of hold on in there, and then it'll go. So that's a YouTube deal. So I'm getting your messages, but for the sake of the recording, let me keep going forward with this. So okay, all right. Now, so let's go into the actual parts of LSEngage. So on the front page, what you're going to see is you're going to see your current level. You're going to see your current level, and you're also going to see exactly what's needed for other commission levels. What's needed for other commission levels. What I mean by that? Well, when you're in LSEngage, you may be an executive director. Let me see if I can pull this up on my phone real quickly. If I can pull this up on my phone, then I probably can show you a better deal. Hold on just a minute. I'm logging into that account that I was telling you about. All right. I'm going to show you exactly what, and I appreciate everyone that's working with me. You may have to refresh your phone or anything, but let me show you what it looks like on the phone. Okay. Patient window right here. Now, here's a live. This is a blank LSEngage right here with no one's in it. So let me show you exactly what shows on your front screen. And this is me logged in. If you never logged into LSEngage before, through your mobile app, you have to go to lsengage.com and log in. So keep that in mind. So those of you that are watching this live, if it's buffering, just refresh your screen. You may have to go to lsengage.com. And I'll also hit the subscribe button too. This is a shameless plug, but I'm gonna put out all kind of videos and you want to subscribe to me. So hit the subscribe button at the bottom. So on this one, for example, this is showing the director level. And remember, this is a blank one with no memberships. How in the world did this person get director and he didn't have nothing since he started because it's a blank LSEngage. So what I have the ability to do is I have the ability to hit this drop down menu. And you see this drop down menu right here. This drop down menu allows for me to select, let's say I'm a director, but I wanted to go senior director. I can select senior director and press done. So what it's going to do right now, it's going to show me how close I am to senior director. As you can see, I am 0% in personal sales. That means that if I wanted to hit senior director and I was this associate, then I would have to actually go out in my personal sales. There's two ways of hitting senior director. Remember, one is through 25 personal sales. I'm 0%. So I can see exactly how far I am. The other one is through organizational sales, you know, and I'm 0% through organizational sales. So I can see exactly what it takes for me to reach those levels. And I can do this for any level. You know, let's say if I was a senior associate, that's where I was. So this tells me what I need to do to hit senior associate. So wherever you are, you can hit that drop down menu and you can go to whatever, you know, whatever level you want to go to. If I want to know how in the world, what do I need to hit platinum? Look, it'll even show you how many sales I need to hit platinum. It even shows me how many executive director legs I need. So in this one, it says I need 4 executive director legs. I have 0 according to this one. How many personal sales and executive directors? Say I can get 50 personal sales and 3 executive director legs. My point in showing you this is you can see exactly what you need in order to hit the next level. So that's on your front screen of LSEngage. It tells you everything that's going on. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you is about your hamburger menu. Your hamburger menu. Look in the upper left-hand corner. If you're watching this, it's going to be right there in the upper left-hand corner, those 3 dots. That's your hamburger menu. When you click the hamburger menu, what it's going to do is it's going to open up your main menu. Now, in your main menu, of course, there's certain things that are going to be there if you're a Legal Shield Advantage subscriber and certain things that's not. But what we want to go over today for the sake of this presentation, we want to go over your messaging center. So your messaging center, let me click that. Your messaging center is where you got all your corporate communication. Now, I do not log into this account because this is not an active account for me. But as you can see, anything that someone tried to send you is right here in your messaging center. Now, there's several things I want to show you about your messaging center. Number one, this purple dot. What this purple dot means right here, this dot simply means that you did not read that message. So all the messages that you never read is going to have a purple dot by them. Now, the reason why I encourage you, let me see, I'm going to click on this message right here from the business boot camp. So this is how it reads. It's formatted like this, where you can sit down there and you can read the whole message. You can actually reply to the sender when you hit reply, and it's going straight to the sender. You can forward this anywhere that you want to in your organization. Now, I don't encourage you to forward these messages. Why? Because since it's sent with LSEngage, let's say your executive director sent you a message through this, then it's going to automatically go to all the team. There's no need for you to forward it to anyone because it's going to your entire organization anyway. The important reason why I want you to start looking at your messages in LSEngage, because some of you are saying this, say, hey, I get my messages through email. And I get that it do come to your email. But the challenge is whenever you send a message out, and I'll show you this when we get into the web platform, you can actually see who opens your message. Now, this is important because, you know, when you go to that screen, and I'm going to go into more detail, you may send it out to 300 people, but it's only showing that 10 actually opened it. That's because 10 people only accessed it from LSEngage. You may have had 100 people look at it through their email, but it's not going to display that. So from a leadership standpoint, as leaders, we want to know who's looking at our messages. So let's get in the habit of promoting LSEngage. The other reason why you want them to look at it through LSEngage is you see this little clip right here. If there's any type of attachments whatsoever, you know, whether it's an audio attachment, a PDF, you cannot view that through your, you can't view it on your email. You can only view it in LSEngage. For this example, I'm going to click on this little paper clip right here. That's an attachment. And now you can see that I can see the PDF. I can zoom in on it on my phone. All the features that you can do, you can zoom in on everything else. And of course, if I wanted to save it, what I can do is just take a screenshot and save it. But you cannot view any attachments if they're not through LSEngage. So that's another reason why you want to answer your messages in your message center. Now, what I want you to notice something here. In your message center, notice there's no way for you to send messages. This is because this account is not registered to Legal Shield Advantage. Let me change screens and let me show you how to send messages with an account that actually is registered to Legal Shield Advantage. Hold on just a minute. Right there, we're showing you at the bottom of it, right here, there's a little button that's called Broadcast. Those of you that are Legal Shield Advantage subscribers, you'll be able to see this button. If you're not a Legal Shield Advantage subscriber, this is going to be missing because through LSEngage, you get to get messages. You don't get to send messages. So you can only use it if you're a Legal Shield Advantage subscriber. So when you hit the broadcast button, this is what comes up, that you'll be able to broadcast messages. You can send them out. There's a drop-down menu, as you can see, when it comes down to my organization, down there on the message center. You can click my organization, and there's going to be a drop-down menu. And that drop-down menu, the only thing that shows right here in the drop-down menu, let me use my pointer real quick so you can see it. Here's the drop-down menu. When you hit that drop-down menu, it's going to give you some preset filters. Now, if you wanted to send it out to your entire organization, you click all downline associates. And for this example, that's exactly what we're going to do. Click all downline associates. So once you click all downline associates, it's going to open up your ability to write a message. And that's real simple. You put the message and you can just send the message. When you send the message, once you click all downline associates, you can place the message in there, send it, and you can press the little send button in the upper right-hand corner. The send button in the upper right-hand corner. So what I'm going to go over next is your downline reports. Remember, go back to your hamburger menu and you can click on downline reports. And when you click on downline reports, what it's going to show is it's going to show a group of reports with some key information. Now, for the sake of this presentation, I'm going to use this PowerPoint right here because I want to hide some of my associates' information. But let's say, for instance, we wanted to click on our counters report. So if I click on my counters report, and this is an old counters report from me, there are several things I want you to see up on it. Number one, it shows associates information. Let me see. It's going to show associates information. Matter of fact, I can do it. Let me change this so I won't be showing these folks info on here. Hold on just a minute. I'm gonna switch this over to my phone so I can go on them so you don't have to worry about it. But I can go ahead and click on, let's say, counters. I clicked on the counters report. It's only going to show me, and it's not going to show anything because, like I said, this is a dead account right here. But it's going to show all of your associates. Information is going to be right here. So every last associate in your group is going to be right here. As you can see, you can scroll and you can see all the things from personal sales, previous month to date, exception to date. You can see everything about that associate right there. Now, if you click the settings tab is at the very bottom right here. If you click the settings tab, what you're able to do, you're able to regroup and reorder what you want to see first. So let's say, for instance, if I wanted to see the personal sales month to date immediately, what I would do is I would take that, I would click on this button right here, and I would bring that up first. I'm reordering. Let's say the first thing I want to see is the personal counters month to date. I want to see the personal counters month to date. The second thing I want to see, let's say I wanted to see my organizational sales month to date. I'm gonna bring that up right there. Let's say the third thing I wanted to see, let's see my organizational recruits month to date. I want to see that next. So those are going to be doing three things. So when I check that, notice what happened. Now, the first thing I see up top is my personal sales month to date. So in the order of my associates, the first thing I'm going to see of them is how many sales that they made that month, how many sales their organization made that month, and how many recruits their organization made that month. So you can customize this however you want. You know, if the next thing you wanted to see is the personal sales previous month to date, you put that up there. Notice it changes the way you want it to change because everybody's going to be different on how they want to see their reports organized. So that's the way you're going to see that. Now, the second thing that you can do is anytime you click in this area, this white area right here, notice there's a purple area, which is your menu. There's a gray area, which is going to show all of your associates, your team. This white area is just going to show the data. Anytime you click in this white area, something's going to call out what I call a summary menu. So let me click in the white area right quick. Let me show you. Now, this summary menu, I just clicked on that. And depending on what associate you're going to pull up, you're going to see the same order. Remember, you noted personal sales month to date, organized sales month to date, the same order you put it in, but you're going to see a more detailed summary from everything. See, this takes that same menu, all these things that will cross. This is this menu, but you can click right here and you can see it all on one page now. So it's a summary menu that you have. The level. So let's say you wanted to know how many sales this person did since they became an associate. Well, that's the personal sales inception to date. You can see exactly the total number of sales that an associate had. So that's the way you take this menu instead of scrolling all the way across. You can press anywhere in here and you'll see that menu right there. And it's different from any report you do. You know, any report that you have. So if I go to, let's say, organizational level advancements, of course, there's no data right there, but depending on what I put, you know, the menu is going to change. Okay. So that's the first part I want you to notice. That the second part I want you to notice is up here in the purple area. You can sort this list by any one of these menu items. Let's say I want to sort this list by the people that were making the most sales that month. The people that were making the most sales that month. So what I would do is I would click on personal sales to date, because that's the item that I'm selecting to sort the list from. And then I would put it in descending order. Descending order. That means from the greatest to the least. When I click on descending order, what it's going to do, if there was a lot of associates showing right there, it'll regroup this list based on how many associates made the most sales that month. So up top would be the associate who had the top number of sales. The next associate would be the next associate who had the next number of personal sales month to date, etc. So you can do this with ascending, which I don't know why someone wants to go and see the zeros first, or you can do it with descending, so you can see your top performers or your top producers for that month. And you can sort this by anywhere. Maybe you want to see how many people got the most recruits that month. You want to sort it down. So you click that organizational recruits month to date, and you click descending. And now it's going to sort that list to organizational recruits month to date. So it's going to do it that way. That's the way that you can sit down there and you can put your list and you can organize it that specific way. So those are the ways, those are sorting options that you have in Prospect. Now, another thing, in LSEngage, another thing that you're able to do is you're able to see, just like you saw on your front page, your associates information is right here. So what you're able to do is you're able to click on your associate's name, click on your associate's name, click on the actual name. And when you click on the actual name, what it's going to do is it's going to bring you to their front page. Remember, you had your front page. Your front page was this. Let me go back. This was your front page. So your front page, as a, to go back and remind you, shows you the level you're on, all the counters and everything else you have. So when you're in your downline reports, let's go back to counters, and I click on the actual name of that associate, I'm able to see their front page. So I'm able to see specifically how many counters they got, how many recruits, personal legs they have, what their sales month to date, previous month to date, year to date, inception to date, what their organizational sales month to date, previous month to date. So I can gauge. That's how you know if your organization is growing. Why? Because you can see exactly what they did that month so far, month to date. You can see what they hit last month to date. So you can gauge if it's the middle of the month, and let's say they had 25 sales last month, and you're only on 4 sales this month, and it's the middle of the month. Well, you know that organization is not on track to beat what they did last month. And we always, as leaders, want to make sure that we're growing our organizations. So you can kind of compare it. Or let's say it's the middle of the month and they had 20 sales month to date, and last month they had 25. Well, you know that organization is growing because they're outperforming last month. So you're able to look through and you're able to tell, but before I make phone calls to any associate, I like to click on there and kind of see where they are in their business. So I'm not shooting in the dark. A question I don't want to ask them is, okay, how many sales you have this month? As a leader with LSEngage, because I'm able to click on their information, I can find that information out really, really fast. Because in my mind, I should have a plan of action to help them build. So another thing that you can do with this report is, let's say you took a look at it, you can actually call the associate from this screen. That's what makes this phenomenal. So as you can see, look in the bottom right-hand corner, that call button. When you click upon that button, their number pops up where you can go ahead and call them. So no longer do you have to look up their information in your phone. No longer do you have to go on Legacy and try to call them. You can just simply press the button in the lower right-hand corner, press the call button, and you can call the associate straight from the app. If you want to send them a text message, you press the lower right-hand corner, and you can send them a text message straight from the app. It'll open up your message center where you can go ahead and send them a message from the app. Same thing with the call. If you hit call, it'll open up your phone where you can call them straight from the app. So it's an easy way to call and communicate with your associates. What this does, if I'm looking at certain reports like organizational level advancement, when I'm pulling up that report, one of the things I like to do is I like to see who's promoting in my organization. Or another active report that I suggest for you to look at is organizational new associates. Some of you have growing teams and you have people that are coming inside of your organization every day. As a leader, it's always good to give that person a welcome call. So you can click on organizational new associates. And of course, since this is a blank, it's not going to show anything. But when you click on organizational new associates, let's say I was on that page. What I would like to do is I would like to sort them. I would go under the deal that says level advancement or start date. And I would sort that by descending. That way it'll organize. And if you're on your phone, you can see your own deal. It'll organize this list from who hit your team most recently all the way down to who hit it, 30, 60, 90 days ago. And then when you see that associate, you see associates that hit your team recently, then you can go ahead and you can click on their name, click on the call button, and welcome them on a board. Go back to the next associate, click on their name, click on their call button, and give them a welcome call. Welcome them on board to your organization. So those are easy ways to go ahead and welcome new people, contact people. And those are the two things we're going to go over when it comes down to your app. How to message people. Remember, as a recall, you go ahead and click the menu, click your message center. You can check all your messages right there. If you're on Legal Shield Advantage, at the bottom, you'll see a broadcast where you can broadcast messages, or you can, you can send voicemails to people. If you're not on Legal Shield Advantage, you can see messages, you can read messages, but you cannot send messages. So keep that in mind with those two things. So that's the first part of what we're doing. Hold on. We're going to get to our second part now. The second part is actually going to right. Here are the parts of LSEngage. Now, as you notice right here, it says upgrade to Legal Shield Advantage. Is the one that doesn't have any data on it, the same deal. So if you're not on Legal Shield Advantage, you're not going to see this part. I mean, this part is going to be blank. And for those of you that are having buffering issues, my apologies, it's YouTube. Hopefully this recording will come out okay. So right here, it's not going to show everything, but on your front screen, these are the basic parts. You have this thing up here called My Business. What My Business is, it's broken down into sub menus. This is your main menu. You have three main menus: My Business, My Team, and My Messages. My Business has a sub menu. This is called your dashboard. On your dashboard here, you have several deals. You have your level, just like on your app, your level advancement model. So you can do just like you did on your app and select different levels right here. You have your performance club, which is going to show you how many points you have, your personal retention, etc. You also have your membership. So this is similar to the front page of your app. It's very similar to the front page of your app. And you also have some things about business solutions incentives, where you can actually, see exactly where you are in the business solution incentives, where you are in the new groups open, upcoming events, and even Ask Aaron. Well, you can click on that and you can ask Aaron. It's automated. Now, I know there are moving reports over to here. You can even have chat with associate services right there. So everything is in LSEngage, just like it's in our back office. Hint, hint, clue. So you can ask Aaron questions about things that are going on in Legal Shield. And I encourage you, use Aaron more than calling associate services. So you can find out like, look, what's let me show you the way Aaron works. What's the performance? New associate, heard Performance Club. They put, what's the Performance Club? Press send. Now, what's the performance? You can learn more about the Performance Club works on this page. They click on that and guess what opens? The Performance Club. So there's a lot of things you can put up on there. You can, you can ask questions about, where do I find certain reports? Aaron is actually automated. It's a pretty good bot. So you can use Ask Aaron at the bottom of that. So that's one way. Now, The second thing that's on your business tab is your reports. Now, your reports are just similar to the same reports you had on your phone. So you can look at things like personal pre-council reports. You can look at things like Performance Club monthly reports. Now, when you click on the Performance Club monthly, which is a report I look at a lot, the Performance Club monthly, this will be automated with everyone in your organization. Now, this right here is called, I call it a hook. What I mean by a hook is you dictate by what standard is going to be here, because this is a rotating menu. This menu moves across. So you're able to move this menu from left to right, and you can see different things upon it. So let's say, for instance, I wanted it to go by total points right here. Then that means this will be right here and everything else will move. I wanted to go by personal retention. Then that means this is going to be it's going to sort this thing based off of retention numbers. And all of these things you can see. You can actually let me see what detail. Okay. You can actually sort these by any one of these deals. Total points, Performance Club qualified, carryover points, all these things you can see in this report right here, this Performance Club report. It's able to show you all these different things. Hold on, let me grab a different mouse so I can scroll and show you this. Like, for instance, see, I can see personal retention, organization retention, member points. So these are pretty detailed reports. And these change depending upon what you want to watch. You got your Performance Club points, pre-council members. I love looking at my pre-council member report. Why? Because I can see exactly, if the member's an associate, I can see their name. I can see their member effective date, their pre-council date. What I like to do is I like to sort mine. When you click on this, that's when you can do it ascending and descending. I like to sort my reports by pre-council date. Why? Because I want to know who's getting ready to counsel now. So I know we receive the pre-council reports every Wednesday. And if you don't check those reports, they can get lost in email. Well, you can go to right here, personal member pre-councils, and you can click on your pre-council date, and you can see everyone that has a pre-council date coming from them. So now you can check all your pre-councils right then and there, and you can call your pre-council. So there's a lot more reports. You have, level advancements, new associates, counters report, all these retention report, current year, previous year, personal active menu. All these are reports that you have right here. So that's under my business and my team. Now, my business right here, your dashboard, which shows you all of your personal numbers, your reports, just like on your phone, which shows you all your reports. Now, to be clear, sometimes it's easier to look at your reports on your phone because there's a lot of data that's in here, and you can do a lot of specification. So the next thing, let's look at my team. Now, I'm going to switch to this other window because I'm going to actually show you my team on this. Hold on, let me pull it up. Let me show you this because this is not going to really show too much associates information, but let me show you my team right quick. Let me get to the right window where I can present this. Hold on just a minute. And I'm going to show you a feature that really you're going to. So when you click on my team, the first thing you see is what we call a graphic tree. Graphic tree. What a graphic tree is, it's a way that you can visually look at your organization. Now, if you want to know, what some of these things, you press the key, and the key would tell you what these colors mean, because you notice there's different colors here. What an X mean is people that are inactive. They're a dropped associate. An X means people that are inactive. So they're a dropped associate. So you can see the colors like this green right here. This was an associate. Now, when you click on any of these buttons, if you notice in the top right-hand corner, what happens? I click on this and it'll show me that associate name and their ID. These are people that are no longer in the business. Their associate name and their ID. It even shows me, where they were in the business. And some of these folks, it doesn't matter. They're dropped associates. So these are dropped associates. So you can click on the circle to see exactly. This is my organization. Now, I have a pretty large organization. So what I can do is I can go to the settings tab, and right now it's only showing 2 levels. So this is just me, my recruits, and their direct front line. So let's say I want to drop it down and I want to see other levels. Let me select 25 levels. Let me show you this. So now I can press update, and instead of 2 levels, it's showing me 25 levels, or however deep it goes. So I'm able to scroll down and I'm able to see more of my organization. So for those of you that are new in the business, don't be scared. Everybody's not going to make it up in your business, and it's okay. Some of you are arguing, I lost an associate. Well, you don't get to where you are in business by not losing associates. Everybody's not going to do this, okay? So this just gives, this is a big screen now. Now let's say I want to get a better view of this. So what I can do is under node, I got it on small. Let me go with tiny, and let me update it. For those of you with larger organizations. Now, as you can see, I can see more of my screen. Let me take it off the settings. I can see more of my organization. Let me see if I can widen this up where you can see more. I can see more of my organization with this graphic tree. So this is my genealogy. It's kind of cool to look at because this is me. And then, of course, now these are all my frontline associates. Some are active, some are not. It's okay. So these are all of my personal recruits, people that I've recruited in my organization over my tenure with Legal Shield. And of course, these are their frontline associates. You know, these are their frontline associates, etc. So I'm able to see these deals. Now, let me give you an example. What you can do is you can actually go into your filter tab. Let's see that you only wanted to see people that were associates in your organizations. You just want to highlight those. Now notice what happened is when I did that, now I can get a view, a snapshot of associates. Let's say we were having a ATM promotion, advanced to manager promotion, and you want to see who are your senior associates. Well, I can click that, and now it'll just highlight my senior associates. So these are my senior associates. Let's say I wanted to see who I can help go executive director. They were already in the director's position. I can hit director, and now it simply highlights my directors anywhere in my organization. These are all directors within my organization that I can see. So I want to find all my active director legs. So this is a way I can kind of see my whole organization and see, okay, who is an active director leg? And I can click on any of these director legs. So for this example, hold on, I got to write this down. Let me take this associate number down so I can have it. Because I want to show you how you can narrow in on a deal. So hold on, I'm going to put this associate name down. And I know he won't mind. He's just a cool dude like that. So I got my whole organization, but I wanted to help one associate out. And I want to find out, matter of fact, let me go with someone that's inactive because I don't want to put his personal business out there like that. I want to find out what they needed in order to get to the next level. So I can't access their front screen, but if I'm game planning with them and I want to give them a visual, what I can do is highlight their name, take their associate number down. Hopefully LSEngage will make this process a little simpler. But I'm able to write it in the settings. So now the focus ID is my associate number. Let me make this focus ID someone else's associate number. I'm putting their information in. And let me update that. So now I don't need the node size tiny. I can have it small and I can update it. So now what this is doing, this is letting me see that associate's organization. So it took the big tree, instead of me having this big old tree I'm looking at, now I have a smaller tree. I can see exactly where they are, what they need. And if I click on their name, it'll bring me to their front page. So I'm get to see their front page and everything else. I can click on their name. Same thing with these associates. I can click on their name and see where they are. Now I know this associate is not active. This associate is not active. This associate is not active. But this is still an active associate. They're still an active associate. So, you know, there's life in that. Just because these are not active, you can still reach out to this associate. You can still reach out. And if you click on them for the sake of their personal information, I'm not going to click on it. But if you click on them, then what's going to happen? It's going to bring up their contact information. So that's a way that you can actually see a graphic tree. Your graphic tree can be a powerful, powerful tool if you use it the right way. It definitely can be a powerful tool when you use it the right way. So the next thing I want to talk about is your detailed genealogy. The detailed genealogy. That's the second thing that's showing on here. So the sake of privacy, once again, let me make sure I pull up this other report. Hold on just a minute. Let me change over to the blank report. Patient which is the detailed genealogy. So the detailed genealogy is just that. It's going to be a detailed system where you can see all of this information about your associates, their name, associate number, the legal plan status, the legal plan type. Look at everything that you can show. If they're in a home business supplement, if they have a login, their production date, their name, their number, sponsor ID, their birthday, the sponsor name. All this is in a detailed genealogy. Now, this is showing blank, like I mentioned, because this is a dead deal. But you can see if they're registered for the fall event. You can see if they're registered for the spring event. You can see all these things. Now, just like the other deal, now you have to be an LSEngage subscriber in order to click this. But just like the other deal, you can actually see. Let me see if I can pull this up on my other one and show you without giving anybody's information out. Let me see if I can show you that. I'm not sure. And I may can. Yeah, I can. So let me switch screens so I can show you how to do this. Hold on just a minute. I can hit the columns button and I can actually put which columns that I want displayed. Let's say I only want a certain amount of columns. I don't need all this. I don't need whether they have the home business supplement or not. I can highlight that. And what I do is I click down there. That means it's going to pull it out. Or if I didn't want none of these to show, what I can do is I can press that button. Now there's nothing showing. So I can actually customize what I want to show. Let's say I want the name to show. I wanted their associate ID to show. I wanted to see if they had the legal plan and what type of legal plan, if they had the ID shield, what type of ID shield, if they had their login information, what day they started. I don't need all their numbers. Let me just get their cell phone numbers. Let me go to, I don't need their spouse, their birth. Well, let me get their birthday. See, I'm customizing this to what I want to show on my reports. I want to know their sponsor ID. Well, I want to know their sponsor name, who recruited them, just in case. And I want to see if they're registered for our next event. So what I just did is I customized that, and I can press update report. Now, when I press update report, oops, it's showing some of these people information, which I don't want to show. So notice now the things that I put, now I narrowed down that window. So it's not showing all of that information. And if I wanted to sort it by, let's say their name, of course, is already sorted by their name. So when I click name, what it's going to do, it's going to actually sort this list by the person's name. So remember, these are the sorting options that you have. I can sort it exclusively by the person's name. So when I click name, it'll put it in alphabetical order. So you'll see the person's name, etc. So that's another way that you can sort this list. You also have, let's see, filters. So in filters, what I can do is I can actually filter this. That, let's say I just wanted people that's started in 2018 to show. What I can do is I can go down to there's January 2018, January 1st to today's date. So now I'm filtering it, and the only thing that's going to show on that is associates that started January 3rd, January 1st to today's date. It's not going to show anyone else. So you have filters. There's 37 people. Filters that started this year. So you have organization where you can pull that report up. But that's your My Team report. So you click on My Team. Oh, let me go back. The detailed genealogy. That way you can sort. Now, you can easily find people. Let me take these filters and I'm going to erase them. I want to reset them. Let me reset. I'm resetting the filter. So I got it where it's my regular report now. Where it's showing. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me reset this. Let me refresh it. And it should reset it. And if not, nope, it's not resetting it. So I want to do is, let me see if I can, because if I'm having problems, you guys are going to have problems. I want to make sure you guys don't have problems. So what I'm going to do is, let me go back and you can click on this year. I'm going back to, I wasn't even in Legal Shield in 1991. I won't put that filter on so I can pull my whole organization up. Now that should save it. All right. It still didn't save it. So what we can do is we can call LSEngage and make sure they fix that portion of it. And this is a bug that I have to, that's why I love these trainings, because I get to find out what's going on. But let's say I wanted to search for an associate. Any associate I want to search for, I can put their name in it. Davis. And these are all the Davises that are in my organization. So when I click on their name, let's say I click on his name, it's gonna pull him up. It's gonna pull him up as long as they're an active associate. So let's say if I click on, I don't know, I want to find someone, just like in Legacy, click on his name, and it's gonna pull him up. It pulls him up. So I can get all the information that I want to with him. So if I'm looking to quickly find an associate, what's going on, they have an ID Shield plan, they're logging information, I can go under My Team, click on Detailed Genealogy, and just search for that associate's name right there. Just put their last name, first name, it doesn't matter. It'll search for all of them. It'll search for any name. So you have that under My Team. The next thing we're going to talk about under My Team, and I know we're running a little late, but I'm getting ready to wrap this up. We're going to talk about business groups. Business groups. Business groups are powerful. Business groups gives you, let's say you had a group of people that you message frequently. And instead of going and trying to, create, you want a criteria for this group of people. So for this one, and these are some of my brokers that I'm showing. I can show this because it's not really, can't really do nothing with it. So let's say I wanted to message folks that are in the Southeast Texas area. I wanted to message folks that are in the Southeast Texas area because I'm in Southeast Texas. And instead of messaging my whole organization, I wanted to just focus people within a certain area. So what I can do, I can press this Add Group button. So when I press this Add Group, Business Group, what I'm able to do, let's say I want to name this SETX, Southeast Texas. So you're able to apply what we call filters. And what a filter is, it's a criteria that you're selecting. So let's say, for instance, there's two types of filters. There's an advanced filter and there's a location search. So for this one, since I want to message people that's in a specific demographic area, I click on the message search. So by here, let's say my zip code is 77703. So I can put that, this is a criteria. I want to message everybody that's within 50 miles of 77703. So now if you notice up here, look at what changed. Instead of 300 something associates, it changed to 167. So that means really, that's telling me the criteria I set, which is location. I have 167 people in my team that are within 50 miles of my address. So why is that important? Well, let's say, for instance, we had the last hurricane and there was a lot of flooding going on. It was easy, instead of me sending out a message to people in New York or Baltimore or Virginia who weren't affected by the flooding, I wanted to send a message directly to the people who were. So what I did is I created this filter right here. And if I want to get really specific, I can say within 25 miles of it, because this is really just Beaumont area, Beaumont, Port Arthur, this area. Now I'm down to 160 associates. So now when I press add, which I'm creating a group, notice Southeast Texas, there's the group. So now these are all the associates that are within that filtered area. What I'm able to do is I can press broadcast, and what it's doing, it's sending a message to Southeast Texas. So the message I send out right here is going to go exclusively to folks that's within 25 miles of that zip code. Now, why is that important? Another reason. Let's say I'm reading that someone is doing a briefing. Mr. Self is doing the briefing in the Virginia area, and I'm on the Legal Shield calendar. And I'm looking at where the briefing is. But what I can do is, and this is how, and this actually brings me to the messaging area. This is more for your messages. Let me go to messages, because you can do the same thing with your messages. Mr. Self is doing a briefing in the Virginia area. I know I have some Virginia associates. So this is what I do. I'll go to downline. I'll go to filters, location search. And let me pull up Legal Shield calendar. I'm going to pull up the Legal Shield calendar real quick. And let me search Virginia. So there's a Super Saturday going on. Let's just use whoever is out here. In Hamptons Road, right here in Central Virginia. I'm going to have Christian Du Bois doing the Super Saturday. I want to invite my associates out to that. So what I do is I click on that event. I find out where it's going to be held. I take this zip code. Let me highlight it. Let me copy it. So I know this is the venue that it's going to be held on. So what I'll do is I'll go right here and I'll go in LSEngage and I'll plug that zip code in right there. And I say, I want to find associates that's within 25 miles of that zip code. So now when I put that zip code, notice up here, look what highlighted. There's 29 associates in my organization that within 25 miles of this particular event. So that may be, that's how I'll promote this event. If I click on this number 29, I can see all the associates I have in that area. So this is my broadcast list. So now I get to see who I'm broadcasting this to. So now that I have the location right there, the zip code right there, I can go ahead and I can put, if I want to, I can put a subject. Let's say Super Saturday upcoming. Super Saturday event. So I can put that in the subject. I can go ahead and take this right here. I can click on this. And what I like to do is I like to highlight up at the very top, copy, because this is the link that leads to it. So I copy it. I'm letting you know how I work. I copy it. You guys probably can't see that. Hold on. Let me show you what I'm copying real quick so you can see what I'm doing. This is the information. What I did is when I clicked on it, and you probably can't see what I'm doing. Hold on. Let me make it so you can see exactly. Well, no, you have to trust me. You can go ahead and right click it and press copy link address. So basically what happens is when I click on this, this is what's popping up. Let me see. Make sure I highlight this right so I can copy the link address. Then paste it and go. So when I actually clicked on this and you couldn't see it, the event came up. So I was able to grab the ad. I was able to grab the zip code. That's where I got it at. And this is the actual event. So what I'll do is I'll highlight this. I'll copy this and I'll go in Legal Shield and I'll talk about the upcoming. I'll paste it. And get into a link. So now I'll paste that event and I'll tell my Virginia associates, attention, you don't want to miss this. Click the link for info on a great super. So basically what I did is I streamlined my message. Instead of just sending something out to my entire organization, instead of trying to put something on our Facebook group page that has nothing to do with anybody else but people in Virginia, I formulated this message. I selected downline because that's who I want to send it to. That means when you select downline, it's actually going to filter to everybody in your entire downline. So you're going to look at everybody in your downline. That's the filtering process. Then from there, I filtered it even more. I pressed location search. I plugged in the zip code where the event was, and I searched a 25-mile radius. I found out I had 29 associates at that particular location. You know, that's within 25 miles of that location. Then when I looked at the event, see, the event is going to be held August 4th. That's upcoming. So I pulled up the Virginia event. I see that that is going on. You're going to have the Central Virginia Super Saturday. I clicked on the event, got the information on it. I went ahead and copied the event right here. And you can even press copy event if you want to. Nope, I don't want to do it that way. You can highlight and copy it, but I got the details up here. This is the address that this was on. So I copied this and then I pasted it in here. Why did I do that? Because instead of me writing this long thing about the event, I'm just going to tell them, click this link, basically, and it's going to send them to this page. So they can buy their tickets, they can do everything else right there. So now I got this message set up to go out to these 29 people who are in that region. And then, of course, you know, you can allow recipients to forward this message if you want, because there may be people that they want to forward it to. You can select that. Maybe it's something that you don't want them to forward. So you can undo that. You can allow recipients to reply with you. Maybe it's something you don't want to hear from them about. Maybe it's just information. You can select that. So you can disallow that. If you press this button, it'll send it as hot, meaning it'll send it as a hot, immediate message. So you're able to do that. You can also schedule this to go out. Let's say you know of a Super Saturday that's later on in the month, but you don't want to promote it yet because there's another event that you want to promote, but you want to write your message on it. So you can press schedule. So you can actually schedule this message to go out. Let's say I wanted this message to go out after this Saturday, Monday morning. I press Monday morning at 10 o'clock. So now this message is scheduled. It won't send it out. It'll be like in the pending things, but Monday morning at 10 o'clock, it'll shoot out. So you can schedule messages also. But I don't want to schedule this because I want my team in Virginia to know it now. So, of course, if all this is lined up, you got your message, you see your folks, you can click on them, see exactly who's in that list. Everything's lines up. You got the location search. Then you press send. Then you'll get, so your message has been sent, a confirmation. Your message has been sent. So that's how you send messages in LSEngage. It's really, really powerful and it's simple. Now, you have different things. I never send a message to a single person, not from here, because you got to know their ID. What does this group mean? When you click group, these are your business groups. Remember we talked about business groups the previous screen? So these are the different business groups I formulated. So I had the Southeast Texas. This is a business group I call Drive to Director. These are folks, when we were having the Drive to Director promotion, I put up certain criteria for them. You know, OKC registrations. I put up a certain criteria. The good thing about when you set up groups, these groups, whatever criteria you put up on this screen, let me go back to this so you can see. Let's go to business groups. So whatever criteria you put up, you know, whether it's a leadership group or I put up this Southeast Texas criteria. And it's the criteria for the Southeast Texas is edit business group. Remember, it's anyone within 25 miles of my zip code. So the great thing about it is anybody that joins my team that meets this criteria, they're going to automatically be added to this business group. So I don't have to add them. It automatically adds them to my business group automatically. So when I go in messages, let's say this month we recruit 10 people in Southeast Texas. Well, if I wanted to message that specific group, I would click on group. I would click on Southeast Texas. And that's letting me know there's 160 people. If I want to know who's in that group, of course, I can click on this. I can actually click on the individual associate right here. And if I click on that associate, it'll bring up their front page. So I can still message that associate. If I want to message that associate right here, I can actually add notes and everything too. I can press message me. And that's sending a message directly to that associate. So there's so many layers of powerful tools you can use on this. But, you can see the people that are in Southeast Texas and you can message them individually. I can wonder, let's say I want to know where someone was. What do they need to go to the next level? This associate, I can see where he is. I can see how many recruit legs he has. I can message him. I can call him. I can do all those things right here from LSEngage. But for this demonstration, next month, this number should be higher. Why? Because as we recruit new people that are within a 25-mile radius of my address, then they're going to automatically be added onto this number right here. So this number grows no matter what. This number grows and whatever criteria you put. So that's the way to send a message out by location. Let's talk about how to send a message out by not location. Let's talk about how to send one out, let's say, using some of these filters. One of these filters. Now, what are filters? Filters are criteria. So let's say I wanted to send a message out to associates that are at the associate level. So that's one filter. And I wanted to send a message out to associates that are at the senior associates. So this message is going out to associates and senior associates only. Or let's say I want to send something out to directors and senior directors only. So what I can do is I can click director. I can add another condition. And this is just going out to my directors right here. Or I can add an or condition, director or level senior directors. So now this thing is filtering where it's only sending a message out to people that reach the level of director or the level of senior director. So that's what that means. So I can filter my messages to go through the associates that reach those specific levels right there, director or senior director. So there's a lot of ways. Now the sent messages, let's talk about that as we wrap up. And I am wrapping up this trade. I know it's been a long way, but I am wrapping it up. And I know sometimes for some of you, I apologize. YouTube is under attack this morning. So for some of you who are getting the swirling deals, hopefully the replay will play right. So now these are all the messages I sent out. So I just sent this out. Remember this message I just showed you I sent out right here? Several things. It sent to 30 people. It delivered to 29. Now, what does that mean? This is showing me the people it delivered to. Now, the reason why I delivered to 29 is because I'm blocked by one person. Now, I said I'm blocked. I'm not actually blocked. They may have got an email from corporate and they say, you know, I'm tired of getting these emails, so let me stop getting these emails. Note to you, if anyone stops any emails, they're going to stop emails from LSEngage and anything else that's coming from Legal Shield. So this person who got me on the block, they may have blocked something coming from a trainer or from the corporate office, but they really just blocked everybody. You know, every message that can be sent to them from any of these engaging platforms. So make sure you don't block, okay? Make sure you're not blocking the deals, because if that's the case, you're going to block everything that can come to you. So another thing that you can look at is this, is attachments open by. So let's say I sent the message out with an attachment. I can actually see who actually looked at the attachment I sent out. I can see who looked at the attachment I sent out. I can see who actually opened the message. See, we already had somebody to open the message. If I click open by, it'll send me, and I open, you know, it'll send me whoever opened it. And it's showing I opened it because I'm the one that sent it. And the message went out to me too. So I can see who opened the message also. I can see how many people delivered to. So these are easy ways. So I can look at, you know, if I ever sent out an attachment or something else, I'm able to see all of those deals, all of those metrics right here. I can even see my message. If you expand, you can see any message right here. These are the sent messages right here. I can select an action, highlight the message. These are different actions you got. I can retract it, meaning pull it from their box. Let's say I don't want them to see it anymore. I can press the retract button and it'll erase it from their inbox. I can press the delete button and it'll just delete the message history right here. So you have my messages up front, which lets you know these are the messages that you're getting corporate communication on, that you need to click on. If they're highlighted in gray, that means you looked at them. If they're not, like this is a message right here that they just sent out. I didn't look at it yet, and I noticed it turned gray. So I'm able to see it. This is another message that now I'm officially looking at it. Notice it turned gray. So I can see it. Any message that's not gray is not looked at. So you have that. If you want to search, if you want to do a new message, you click this. And it'll send you where you can formulate a message. Remember, you can formulate it into a group, which is your business groups, and you can select your business groups that you already do. So I selected a group from associates, production. I got all these business groups. You can put it where it can select from your entire downline, your active downline, folks that are writing memberships. You can actually add filters on here where you can actually filter it out by state. Let's say I wanted to just filter it out by state, have that right there. By country, by personal sales, people that actually had personal sales month to date. If I wanted to filter it out to only have this message only go out to people who actually made sales, I can click on that. So you have that also. So those are your messages. And recap, you got your team. And your team, you have your graphic tree right here. You know, you have your settings that you can have your graphic tree, your filters, and your key to it. You have your detailed genealogy. Detailed genealogy kind of goes over different things. I had this associate pulled up. That's why his information is right there. Your filters, columns. You can select what columns you want to show. Organization, I wouldn't really worry on that. And you have your business groups. And then you have my business, which let me pause this. So let me make sure, let me see what shows before I pull this up. I want to make sure that it's not showing anybody. You'll go under Performance Club. Performance Club monthly. Of course, this is not going to show anything because it doesn't have any data. What I like to do is I like to go to total points right here. So when you're on total points, if you click that, it'll probably line it up for people that don't have points. And if you click it again, it'll sort your report for the people with the most points on down. So you remember, you click on this menu so you can sort it. So you click on total points, and now this will have a running total of everybody with the most points all the way down to the least points. So for today, I would go and I would find out, first of all, who's qualified. You can do some congratulatory calls, and you can pull this up in LSEngage also. On the app. under reports. And you can sort it like this under the app. So I would click on find out who's qualified, congratulate them, and look to see the folks that maybe have, I don't know, 60 points, 70 points, 90 points, 120 points. So you can give them a call this weekend and you're able to say, hey, you know, I was looking under the Performance Club points. I noticed you had 120 this month. You realize the trip to Vegas, that if you don't qualify this month, that you're not going to be able to run for that trip. So we need you to get up to 180 points this month in order to qualify for the Vegas trip. Use this time and use these reports, you know, to actually pull that up. Let me show you how to do it on your phone. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up, LSEngage on my phone. Let me show you how to do that from your phone too, because actually it's a lot easier from your phone than anything else. Hold on. Let me pull it up on my phone so you can see that. I wonder if it's showing. So once again, when you're on your LSEngage on your mobile app, click the menu, click Downline Reports, and it may not show anybody in the Performance Club on Nelson Shoots. Okay, well, it is showing me on what I'm doing. So you can click the Performance Club monthly. What I like to do is I like to go to settings, and I like to put the total points in Performance Club, they qualified or not, and how many carryover points they got. Because I'm more worried about that, and I really like to see their personal retention. That way I can have these things. See, now notice total points is showing up front. So what you do is under total points, you press descending. What it's going to do is it's going to show, it's going to line this list up with everybody by how many folks have the most points all the way down to who has the least. So once you run into those associates that may have, let's say, you know, 60 points, 100 points, what you can do is you click their name, you'll see how many points they have, and then you call them. I would spend my time this weekend figuring out how can I get these associates who almost have enough points up to qualifications. And that way you can focus on helping them Performance Club qualify, because if they're in the Performance Club if they Performance Club qualify this month, then that means next month they have a lot of motivation